Famcast Media, bitch.
Good evening, demons and demonesses. I'm here joining you in the studio with my daughter, and I'm going to be giving you a different type of review. Now, I won't be reviewing a band or even a song or a movie. This is actually an instrument I'll be reviewing. Now, if you're into solo projects and stuff, you might find this to be a rather interesting instrument. This is a drum kit setup. It's used if you have like a MIDI keyboard, or if you're part of a one-man metal band. I think she wants to go play. Now, this type of instrument is mostly used for solo musicians. So if you're working on like a solo project or anything like that, you might find this to be rather interesting. There's a flash sale going on. Now, if you haven't heard of this company called Ugritone, this week they're having a sale until the 15th. So you might have a little bit of time to, get your hands on a few products. Now, I heard about this instrument on Ugritone's website. It came up on my computer as a Facebook advertisement. So I'm like, all right, I'll check this out. And it said, Riot drums for only $5. Now, $5 isn't bad, especially when it comes to a drum set. Now, this isn't like the most epic of all drum sets, but it could be good to get you through, any solo project that you're planning on working on, especially when it comes to rock, metal, or even punk for that matter. I find this to be rather, a versatile type of plugin. So I'm going to hook up my keyboard, and I'm going to, give a little bit of a demonstration on what type of instrument this is. Now, this instrument pack is called Riot drums, and according to the Ugritone website, it's described as 90s punk rock drums inspired by hardcore bands at the time. Now, I got this on sale for only $5, and I think that's only for, I think that was a promotional sale, because they have a lot of other sales that are going on, but they end on the 15th, so you guys have a little bit of time if you want to, pick up some samples, pick up some new instruments, especially if you're working on a solo project. Now, the hardware that I'm using right now is the Casio CTK 720. Now, I first got this keyboard back in, I think, 8th grade, and yes, 12 years I've had this keyboard, and it's still pretty reliable. Still don't really have that much wear and tear on it. And I'll be hooking it up to FL Studio. I'm going to be using the standard drum tone first, just so you guys can get a feel of what it is. And then I'll be using the Riot drums, just so you can compare the difference between the standard and the Riot. I'm gonna just give you guys a little taste of what this instrument does. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my metronome. All right, it's a little fast, so I'm gonna try and turn it down to like maybe 98, or possibly 95. I think 95 would be good. Right, I'm just going to play around with it for a little bit. So we're just going to give it a little bit of a little hit the hi-hat. And I'm going to loop this for 4 beats. I'm going to add that into the workstation right here. Now, as you can hear, I still have the metronome going on. And now I'm going to add a kick drum to it. A kick and a snare, to be honest. Right, so here I am inside of my audio workstation. As you can see, the setup I have it is the one that you see right here on the top. That is the standard sounding drum kit. So I'm going to play that for you guys. That's basically what the Casio keyboard sounds like. Standard, no plugins, no drum kits, nothing. So I'm going to play that for you guys. I'm going to play this track over here because I have it looped. As you can hear, you know, just rather standard. All right. So that's what it sounds standard. So I'm going to mute that track. And then I'm going to turn on the Riot drums, and you can hear that, how that sounds. Now, the Riot drums, this is a rather, you know, interesting instrument. As you can see right here, this is what the interface looks like. So you got your toms. Got your snare right here, got another tom. All your cymbals, hi-hats. And as you can see, like, it's not using that much RAM, or CPU usage, so, which is actually kind of good, because, you know, sometimes plugins like these tend to use up a lot of RAM, a lot of CPU. Here's a kick right here. Okay. But this is, you know, rather cool looking interface. Now, up here you have the mixer. Basically, you have the master volume right here. Over on here, you can change, you know, your reverb settings, you know, your pen, if you want it left or right. These are all the instruments, your snares, your hi-hats, chinas, and splashes. Come to think of it, I'm going to just play and then monkey around with the settings. So I'm going to just minimize right here. And just so you guys can get a little taste of what this thing does. As you can hear, it sounds quite a bit different every time, you change one of these. Like the rumfar, changes how wet it is, how dry it is, the reverb setting. So this is, kind of interesting. I'm going to turn the snare up a little bit. Turn it down, back to normal. Turn up the kick drum. Turning that back down to normal. And now the hi-hat. Right, that's what it sounds like. So now I think I might add some guitars to this. So time for me to pull one of my guitars off the wall and see what I can do after that. Alright, so I have my guitar right here, and I have it hooked up to my Behringer audio interface. Now, if you do plan on, doing any solo projects, I recommend using an audio interface rather than plugging it directly into your motherboard, because, there might be, static, you get a lot of feedback, a lot of background noise. So I have my gain set to about midway. So, just going to plug this in. I'm not going to add any pedal effects. I'll do that all afterwards because I have, some pedal software on my computer right now. Okay, so I finally have my guitar track recorded. This is basically just what it sounds like. Just standard, really no effects, no nothing. Now, I might add a few more effects to it. No, not there. My sample track. So this is my folder right here. Just might see what other types of effects I have in here. I might just use Nick Crow, and also a cab enhancer. I'll just use cab enhance Final 104. Just monkey around with it a little bit until I get a sound that I like. Oh, definitely not that. I kind of like the sound of that. So, I mean, like I said, it's nothing spectacular, but I think it does the purpose just for this. I'm going to turn the volume down to maybe half the volume, maybe 52%. And then I'm going to turn the other tracks back on. Maybe get this off solo mode. Still a little bit too loud. I've had to turn down the master volume. That's probably what I'm going to have to do, turn down the master volume. And then I'm going to add those other two tracks to the effects chain on number 1. And then I'm going to turn the volume back up on that just to equalize the drums. kind of liking the way this sounds. I mean, like I said, you're working on a solo project. You could probably get down to something like this. I know it was supposed to just be... I know this was mainly supposed to be used to, you know, review the drums, but I kind of like, you know, these other plugins that I'm using, the Nick Crow and the Cab Enhancers. So if I do get back to, you know, working my solo project, I'll probably re-review these in like a different episode. But other than that, Riot drums really do come in handy. Like the way the sounds, like this nice gritty sound, and it's an old school sound too. So if that's what you're looking for in your project, then it's a good 5, well, in my case 5. But if you guys don't get it before the sale, it's going to be, I think, $45 for this, which isn't bad, like I said, because it doesn't use a lot of CPU. It's rather simple to use. Like I said, it's a pretty cool interface. Between all of these settings, you have so many settings and knobs here to play with, and then you have this cool looking interface. So just play around with these little toms again, snares, kick, splashes, and cymbals. All right, now it's using a lot of CPU right now. I think it's because my virus protection is doing a scan right now. Go figure. So yeah, lots of cool things here to play with. But if you're looking for something standard, you know, to get your project off the ground, then I recommend this. It's money well spent in my case. So that's basically the rundown for Riot drums. Now, to compare the sound of the Riot drums to any other punk band, I would say it's closely similar to Choking Victim, a little bit of Consumed if you're a fan of, you know, pure English punk from the 90s, then I would say more along the lines of Consumed rather than Choking Victim. Now, if you play around with the settings a lot, you might be able to reduce that reverb and get like a more drier sound. Like if you want to get sounds like closer to, you know, bands like Indie K or bands like Leftover Crack, which is kind of ironic because both Leftover Crack and Indie K both came out Choking Victim, and that was the first band that I named. So if you're looking for, you know, a ska type sound, like this drums will work really well if you're into ska type music. Hell, come to think of it, I think it might also work well if you know plan on producing, you know, a solo type oi band, because you know oi is also, you know, my thing is this, oi is also another one of my favorite genres of music. That along with any other band that came out of England. So to sum it all up, they did really well trying to emulate that sound. Now, I haven't played with this around not that much today. Like I said, I literally just bought it, so just going to see how it works with some of the projects that I'm working on now. So I have 2 artists that want me to, you know, produce some music for them. One of them is working on a film. The other one is working on a rap album. And this artist says she wants, you know, a ska-type sound because she plans on rapping over top of it. So hopefully I can achieve that. But all in all, Riot Drums has a lot of potential. Now, if you are short a drummer and if you don't have a drummer, or if you can't, you know, hire a studio drummer for, you know, your album, my suggestion would be, you know, either get Riot Drums or any other type of drum kit. But if you're looking for that specific punk sound, then Riot Drums is the best way to go. Like I said, only $45. Like I know a lot of other, you know, drum kits would cost, gosh, I don't know. I've seen them as high as up like to $70, maybe $80. But 45, you know, that's not too bad. Like I said, got these for like $5. So it was the flash sale. So there's still time if you want to, you know, get yourself, you know, a drum kit for like $5. I'll leave the link right down below here in the description, just so you can know what the website is, know what the company is. You can check them out for yourself. But that's all I have to say. If you guys want to purchase this, it's available on Ugritone. Like I said, $5 right now, and also $45 regular price. So I guess you can say I kind of made out like a bandit, only getting it for $5. But I'm pretty sure, like, if you follow a lot of heavy metal pages and, you know, listen to a lot of heavy metal bands, Facebook would probably recommend this to you for that for sale price. I've gotten, thanks to Facebook, I know I say a lot of shit about Facebook, I've gotten quite a few, free and also reduced price programs advertising on Facebook. So I guess the advertising really does come in handy. Alright, you guys, I'm about to go record something else because I have a lot of things to do and I have my day off tomorrow. Well, technically today because it's like 1 a.m. at the time. Alright, you guys, you stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll see you guys later.